we going crazy. We at the top and we never gonna stop. Hop in a ghost, I'ma get Swayze. I just got off of the jet and I cry. I win in a Humvee, I lie. I be on go cause I come from the shot. I'm shooting back, I ain't ducking no shots. Got power like Samson, I cut off the locks. Shot back, Timmer, in the cut like I'm Fredo Santana. Uju Benton, I hop in the Bama, the world is mine, I'm Tony Montana.
There's a look at one of the most iconic sports venues in the lower 48, built back in 1957 under the title of City Stadium. We are at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Green Bay Packers. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports.
Now this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And they'll get him down right at the 25-yard line, so the same result, and he opted for the touchback. The drive starts with a carry by Dillon. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Well, Charles, something we talked about last week, when you start believing whether you're in the midst of a special season or not. Well, now they're at 6-0. Are you still trying to tamp down the expectations in that locker room?
Well, to me, it's less about tamping down expectations and much more about not getting ahead of yourself as a team. And look, they've got to play each game individually, right? Many teams talk about being 1-0 at the end of each and every game each week.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at third down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
The Cook now on to punt as he gets this one away.
And not his best effort there, as this one's going to be spotted down just outside of the 40-yard line.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
And some good running out of the gates as he takes this up to the 33. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight-ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line. Those defense for the Packers, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. The intended target was Chris Godwin, but now it'll be 3rd down.
You could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. They'll look to throw here. And that is incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive they started with great field position is facing 4th down.
The kick by Lutz is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got a look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
If they open things up, let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. Finding space at the 40. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
You don't always expect tight ends to be big in terms of run after the catch, but after that play, he joins a growing band of players that's putting that stereotype right on its ear.
Dillon now on 1st and 10. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. Second and 9 now. Oh, he's got him in wide open, complete. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 37. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. They're quickly out wide. This is Watson. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. The Packers at 6-0. What a start to the season for them. And they have certainly got it rolling as of late. Winners of 6 in a row.
And I think this is where, as a head coach, you show your team some trust. Instead of just talking about winning, the very next game, you point out to them, we're on a nice run here, and if we keep doing this, we'll be playing at home in the postseason, and we know that could ride us all the way to the Super Bowl if we get that done.
Allen here on the screen. And this is going to lead to another first down as the tackle's made at the Bucs 21. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
Finds his receiver, Watson. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Working with a 2nd and 3. Here's Allen. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Here comes play number 9 now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. And his kick is right there. It's good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points. It will give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. 2nd and 2. He finds his target. It's Evans. 7 yards there and a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he will slide down, but a penalty marker down as well. And it looks like this is going to be all for naught. He's trying to protect his quarterback's blind side. Got nabbed for the hold.
You have one job over there. Make sure that man does not get hit. So if you have to hold occasionally, do so because they don't catch all of them. This time they did.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Now back to throw. Looking Mike Evans' way again, and he's got another one. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Taken down at the 47-yard line.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
A play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And this throw incomplete. And the defender in that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Do you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact? But in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. Gibson here running out of the gun. They nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 10 yards there and a Buccaneer first down.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football. Caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw.
That's complete. It's Chris Godwin. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard.
They'll run with Gibson. And Gibson looking for some kind of opening, but he has none. They rally up to stop him short of the marker.
Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Bucs try it on 4th down to come up empty. And the Packers D comes up with a big stop. So the defense has to stay out and get one more stop. They were able to do it, forcing the incompletion.
So on their record, that goes down as a successful play. Doesn't matter how they got there, how it happened. They got it done. They're the ones that are jubilant.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Back to throw here.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And the Bucs are going to take possession of the football.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he's got some space here. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Nick Chubb with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Buccaneers have moved out in front. Lutz with the extra point. And the lead is now 10-3. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe give him a couple easy throws that he can complete, and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted.
And the Buccaneers are going to take possession of the football.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now Chubb running right. And they've got it in the red zone now, down at about the 19.
57 yards on the ground for him so far.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd and 1. Being chased out left. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So far this season, this is an offense that's proved its ability to move the football. I mean, they're in the top 5 in the NFL at picking up 1st downs, and they get the conversion here. And I think a lot of that is due to how they win on 1st and 2nd down, because that leaves them 3rd and short, 3rd and manageable. A lot easier to pick them up then, isn't it? And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
On 2nd down, a run with Gibson.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Now the Bucs going to use the 1st of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
They're going to run it with their receiver, Evans. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
The kick by Lutz is good.
And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3.
So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they have the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, the offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
He will return this from deep in the end zone.
So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here.
The Bucs with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in the second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see 1 or 2 guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll look to throw.
Complete right side to Otten.
And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. That's good for a Buccaneer first, a pickup of 12 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he wisely will throw that one away.
What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11, and the Bucs have a first down. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they established that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
Adrian Amos up to make the tackle.
This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Seventh play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. He'll drop to throw. Evans has it left side. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. It'll go as a gain of 4. And that'll bring up 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to have his running back. It's complete. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery. But on 4th down, a change of possession anyway. They go for it on 4th down, and it pays off big time as they pick up 29. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. This is caught, and in for the Buccaneers touchdown.
Chris Godwin,
his 6th touchdown of the season.
And the Bucs take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
Lutz good on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where
he's got a man complete. It's a big play there for Green Bay. 41 yards.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
The frustration is definitely setting in because they've thrown it to him over and over, unable to come up with a catch thus far.
I think he knew he would have his challenges against his secondary. I don't think he saw a goose egg at this point in the game.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. On the Buccaneer pressure too much. Down he goes.
Devin White defeating the offensive line and getting to the quarterback.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's got a man, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Well, make that now 2 completions for him on this drive, and these aren't ordinary completions. They're big ones.
Yeah, these are the types that make a secondary talk to each other and not in a good way. Oftentimes pointing fingers. Hey, who's got it? Someone cover it. That type of indecision can open up to even more big plays.
And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now a carry for Allen. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal.
They'll complete this one to Watson.
Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's 2nd and goal. They'll run with Allen. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. They'll set up to throw. And tight coverage there. It's knocked away, incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away. Let's go.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Buccaneers defense holds, and they get the football back. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
A give up the middle to Gibson. And this is going to be a Bucs 1st down as he's able to get this up past the 40.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. His throw incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. On play action, they'll throw. And his throw here is incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Throw right side, taken in by Gibson.
And this is going to result in another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 38-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards. So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 38.
Straight ahead, Gibson.
He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out. We've got them now.
Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that. And thus far, they've been successful.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Devontae Wyatt
drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. And that's off the right upright, and it bounces away, no good. And the lead will stay put at 17. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Here's 2nd and 8. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, he certainly thought he had a window to push that ball downfield, but as soon as he released the throw, the corner was there to slam that window shut.
They'll drop to throw. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this 2nd half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a...
And he coughed it up. And it's picked up by the Buccaneers. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. They'll try and wind down some clock with Chubb.
Up past the 30, 2nd down coming up.
At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
And this is going to be a Bucs first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
115 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. And again, it's Chubb. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive, and like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. That one looks like he'll throw here. Dancing to his left. Now the ball comes loose, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around a lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, then maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into. Really nice job getting him down behind the line of scrimmage.
No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up. 9th play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. On 3rd down, it's Nick Chubb. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now. The kick by Lutz is good, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead. In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. And that unbeaten record very much in. This is intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Packers come up with a late turnover, but it will probably only matter to the statisticians as this ball game is now officially over. So time has run out on what will be a Tampa Bay victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter.